documents रहता है. The important document is the will. आप जानते हैं will. Will is one of the important document that is being maintained by the sub-registrar officers. A will is a private document, that is a personal document until the person wrote it, called the testator, passes away. After the testator's death, will is usually filed with the probate court to initiate probate proceedings. Probate proceedings for settling their estate. Once filed with the court, a will becomes a public document. Will expresses the testator wishes about how their assets should be distributed among their heirs after his death. That is the main objective of the will, is how to distribute the assets of a testator after his death. Yes. The registration of will is optional. It can be registered under Section 18 of the Registration Act 1908. Registration of will is not mandatory. However, it is better to register the will. It is always advisable to register it, as registered will cannot be tampered with, cannot be mutilated or destroyed or stolen. So this is the importance of a will. All sub-registrar officers, suppose when a person goes to register a will, under Section 51 of the Registration Act, sub-registrar officers, they are maintaining several books. There are 5 types of books. That is, book number 1 is Register of Non-Testamentary Documents relating to Immovable Properties. So, आप जो आपके properties का जो registration करते हैं, वो सभी book 1 में register होता है. Record of reasons, suppose refusal किया तो record book number 2. Book number 3 is the registered maintained for registration of wills in the offices of the sub-registrar. So कोई जाकर अपना will register कर सकते हैं. जो जब register होता है वो book number 3 में दाखिल कर लेते हैं. और book number 4 is miscellaneous register and book number 5 is register or deposit wills. Wills 2 तरीके से बन सकते हैं. Wills are considered as the fiduciary document coming under Section 8(1) of that. It's a fiduciary. So it cannot be disclosed during the lifetime of a person who makes it. Even if it is registered, it cannot be given to any of the parties. Even it cannot be given even under the RTI, because it enjoys the protection under the exemption under Section 8(1)(b) of the Act. There are 2 types of registration of Act. आप जो will लिखते हैं उसे register करवा सकते हैं. A copy will be maintained in the registers of the copied down in the registers of the sub-registrar offices. That is book number 3. And another procedure is, you can make a will, keep it in a registered envelope, keep it in a registered, keep it in a closed envelope, and you can deposit that will in the office of the sub-registrar. So, 2 तरीके से will बना सकते हैं हम. One is registered will, another is registered of deposit of wills. This is another thing is called here. ये दोनों Section 8(1)(e) में exempted है. Whether one can obtain the information under Section 6 of the Act by seeking the certificate of the will. No, it cannot be sought under the RT Act because it is totally exempted under the RT Act. That will can be given to the legal heirs only on the death of the testator. The procedure is, he has to produce the death certificate of the person, make an application to the sub-registrar, and obtain a certified copy of the will registered in the office of the sub-registrar officers. That is the procedure of obtaining that. And another, the procedure for obtaining the deposit, that is the will kept in a sealed cover, is also the same. He has to make an application to the sub-registrar for obtaining the copy of the will kept in a sealed cover by making application and by also producing the death certificate. So once the death certificate is given and the action, if it is given to once the copy of the will is given to the legal heirs, it becomes a public document and it can be obtained under the RT Act. initially what happened, these sub-registrars departments, they refused even after the death of the person, stating that there is no provision in the registration act to provide the certified copy of the will to the third parties and under their act. But the information commissions across the state, they have taken a standard, they have taken a decision that once it is disclosed to the legal heirs of the family, then it shall become a public document and it can be given even under the RT Act. Sub-registrars, they took shelter under section 22 of the Act, stating that, they took shelter under the Registration Act, stating that the Registration Act prohibits providing certified copies of the wills to third parties except to the legal heirs. But anyhow, the Information Commissions overruled. They invoked the provision under section 22 of the RT Act, and they directed that even any person can make an application under the RT Act and obtain the certified copy of the will registered with these offices under the RT Act. And if when such an application is made, it has to be disclosed. Now, this is the standard procedure. This is the decision of the Information Commissions all across the country here. Now, the certified copies of the wills, even though it is considered to be the exempted under section 8(1)(e) of the Act, it can be obtained under the RT Act. Now, you can see the beauty of this document. As long the person is alive, it is protected under section 8(1)(b) of the Act. The moment the testator dies, it becomes a public document and it is accessible under the RT Act. Okay, sir, we will move on. Any questions is there in this regard? I will answer.
सर मैं कुछ कहना चाहूंगा सर.
Yeah, yes.
मेरा ये एक मामला था सर.
हाँ
जी, मैं वो जानकारी मांगा था, जानकारी हमको गलत मिली है.
हाँ हाँ हाँ.
जी, मेरे घर में बहुत दबाव आया था सर. मैं पुलिस तो धोखे से करा लिए थे दस्तखत.
हाँ हाँ.
जी, और घर में तो पापा बहुत दबाव डाल रहे थे, तो मैं समझौता कर लिया हूँ, लेकिन मेरे मन में समझौता का मन नहीं मान रहा मेरा मन. इसमें क्या कार्रवाई होगी?
क्या आपका मामला है अभी RTI आपने लगाया था, आपके ऊपर दबाव आ रहा है?
जी, पापा हमको बहुत दबाव डाले हैं. पापा हमको मान लो अब तो पैसा भी नहीं देते, मैं ना पैसा मांगता भी नहीं हूँ सर. इसका
मतलब आपने RTI लगाया. सुनो, ये अभी टॉपिक अपन क्वेश्चन आंसर का लास्ट में रखेंगे. अभी हमारा डिस्कशन दूसरे टॉपिक पे चल रहा है. आप अपने क्वेश्चन आंसर लास्ट के लिए रखिए, है ना? अभी यदि
क्वेश्चन, yes, if it relates to 8(1)(e), suppose wills, if you have got any doubts, any questions regarding the wills, obtaining of wills, then only you can ask. The others we will keep it at the end of the session. Okay.
At the end,
so आपका ये प्रश्न पूछा है वो इसी से जुड़ा नहीं है, या विल से नहीं जुड़ा है?
नहीं, इससे नहीं, इससे नहीं जुड़ा हुआ है.
जुड़ा हुआ है. ओके.
ठीक है. आप लोगों के पास 8(1)(e) से संबंधित कोई डाउट्स हैं? देवेंद्र अग्रवाल जी, नित्यानंद जी.
वीरेश सर.
हाँ.
गुड मॉर्निंग सर. देवेंद्र अग्रवाल छत्तीसगढ़ से. सर बस मैं ये जानना चाहूंगा कि आप ये बता सकेंगे कि जो सक्षम प्राधिकारी द्वारा जो ये समाधान किया जाना है कि ये सूचना लोकहित में है कि नहीं, पब्लिक इंटरेस्ट का मैटर है कि नहीं, जो कॉम्पिटेंट अथॉरिटी इस चीज को डिसाइड करेगी, वो प्रोसीजर क्या होगा?
No, you have to prove before the public information officer that whatever the information you are seeking is the public interest. Then only the PIO can take a decision, even if it is a section exempted under section 8 of the Act. If you able to prove before the public information officer that जो आप सूचना मांग रहे हैं वो सार्वजनिक हित में है, it is in the public interest, then he has to take a decision whether to disclose it or not. There is a simple procedure. There is no hard and fast rule for it here. Even for proving.
बताइए. एक्ट में जो प्रोविजन है 8(1)(e) में जो मेंशन्ड है, इंफॉर्मेशन अवेलेबल टू अ पर्सन इन हिज fiduciary relationship unless the competent authority is satisfied
हाँ,
that the larger public interest warrant
Yeah.
the disclosure of such information.
yes, yes. Suppose you are maintaining a bank account. आप बैंक SBI अकाउंट मेंटेन कर रहे हैं, आपका पर्सनल अकाउंट है. ये पर्सनल SBI अकाउंट्स है ना, जो बैंक सभी बैंक अकाउंट्स, इवन वेदर इट इज SBI अकाउंट और ये करेंट अकाउंट और ये डिपॉजिट अकाउंट और ये लोन अकाउंट, ऑल दीज आर कंसिडर्ड टू बी द फिडुशियरी इन नेचर. आप मानते हैं ना ये, लेकिन accounts maintained by the government officers or the local bodies in a nationalized bank or a scheduled commercial bank, wo it is not a fiduciary information, so people have access to it. You need not have to prove any public interest involved in it. Suppose if you are asking the information linked to SBI account of a particular person, then you have to prove before the public authority that the public interest involved in seeking such information.
सर मान लीजिए कि मैंने किसी विलफुल डिफॉल्टर्स की लिस्ट मांगी बैंक से, तो दैट इज द फिडुशियरी
yes
or not?
No, Supreme Court has decided. शैलेश गांधी साहब थे जब सेंट्रल इंफॉर्मेशन कमीशन ने एक ऑर्डर पास किया था कि डिफॉल्टर लिस्ट, even Madhubushi Sridharacharya was also passed certain orders that the defaulter list is a public document. Once a party becomes a defaulter, the Supreme Court has clearly said it has to be disclosed on the website of the concerned bank itself. Here, they are supposed to disclose it. Until it becomes a defaulter, it cannot be claimed as a public document. Yeah, once it becomes a defaulter, I think there are a lot of decided cases by the Central Information Commission on this issue. Central Information Commission has clearly said, once if any loan account becomes a default, automatically the particulars cannot, it is not exempted under Section 8(1) of the Act. Defaulters are concerned here. Likewise, even Shailesh Gandhi Sahab ka ek order tha, inspection reports of the banks conducted by the Reserve Bank of India. आप जानते होंगे, very important decision by the Supreme Court of India. शैलेश गांधी जी ने आदेश किया था कि audit reports of the nationalized banks conducted by the Reserve Bank of India is a public document. It is not exempted under Section 8(1) of the Act. Later on, they went to the Reserve Bank of India.
The same one.
Nationalized banks, yeah.
The same one where he made this governor of the Reserve Bank as deemed PIO, right? The same matter.
No, it is in the public domain here. They are not audit reports of the banks are not fiduciarily.
No. I think he mentioned about this case, but in this case he made this governor of the RBI as a deemed PIO when they were trying to refuse this information, right?
Yeah, definitely. That is the same case. Finally, it was disposed by. It went to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court decided that the audit reports or the public documents and they are not exempted under the RTA Act here. So, basing on this Supreme Court judgment, now in what in Karnataka we are doing, we are seeking the audit reports of all the departments. You can make application, seek the information of the audit reports of any department, audit reports, and the compliance report, and you can follow it up. Because once you take the audit report, the entire irregularities committed in that particular office or the department will be highlighted in that particular report. And for that report, a compliance report has to be submitted by the concerned authorities. So here, on the basis of, we made a campaign of social auditing of the audit reports itself in Karnataka, and we exposed several very, very big scams by advantage of this Supreme Court judge. Okay.
Sir, विदित सर, जब इसी तरीके से हम पब्लिक अथॉरिटीज के केसेस में देखते हैं कि कोई थर्ड पर्सन जो है लाइसेंस लेता है या फिर कोई सब्सिडीज बेनिफिट्स लेता है ना, तो उनके डॉक्यूमेंट्स तो हम डिस्क्लोजर करते हैं, क्या वो फिडुशियरी डॉक्यूमेंट्स होंगे कि नहीं होंगे, और नहीं होंगे तो क्यों नहीं होंगे?
नहीं, they are not fiduciary. Fiduciary is if the information held in confidence. But जो सपोज आप एक लाइसेंस लेने के लिए, बिल्डिंग लाइसेंस लेने के लिए लोकल बॉडीज को एक एप्लीकेशन देते हैं, उनके साथ some documents will be given, like the property documents will be given to enable the public authorities, I mean the local bodies, to sanction the plan here. Whatever the document submitted to a public authority for obtaining any license for or getting any benefits are not in documents considered to be the fiduciary. They are all public documents and accessible under the RTA. The only the
एक्चुअली जब हम लाइसेंस लेने के लिए एप्लीकेशंस देते हैं तो साथ में हम अपने कई आईडी प्रूफ, एड्रेस प्रूफ या कई कॉन्फिडेंशियल इंफॉर्मेशंस भी देते हैं। जब हम कोई सब्सिडी बेनिफिट्स लेते हैं तब हम उसमें भी हम अपने कई सर्टिफिकेट्स प्रोवाइड कराते हैं। तो फिर उसको जब फिडुशियरी नहीं माना जा सकता तो फिर कोई ऐसे डॉक्यूमेंट्स जिसको हम सिर्फ खुद ही मानने लग जाएं कि वो फिडुशियरी है, तो ये भी तो सही नहीं होगा, क्योंकि यहाँ पर एक बात जो बोली है सेक्शन 81E में, वो क्लियर मेंशन्ड है कि इसको जो है सेटिस्फाइड करेगा कॉम्पिटेंट अथॉरिटी। तो ये कॉम्पिटेंट अथॉरिटी कौन है?
Competent authority is the public information officer, is the competent authority. He has to take a decision. Another thing is
definition of act is वो तो नहीं बोलता कि definition में act में
it is
जो
little
section
vague.
2E में mentioned है।
Yes. Even the answer sheets were earlier considered to be as the fiduciary, but the Supreme Court has said clearly it is not fiduciary, it's a personal here. There is lot of confusion between the fiduciary and the personal here. No, जो आपने बताया, the documents which are giving for getting benefit from the government, they are not fiduciary, they are considered to be the personal. Some of the documents, especially IDs and all, ये PAN कार्ड देते हैं, आधार कार्ड देते हैं, वो सभी हम fiduciary भी नहीं आता, personal आता है। So the public information officer has to take a decision by invoking the provision and the 81J of the Act. Yeah. There is lot of confusion between fiduciary and the this is personal information here. But some of the cases, when we go through some of the decided cases of the Supreme Court, we can now broadly recognize some of the documents of the fiduciary, like whatever said is will is now it is fiduciary. Bank accounts are fiduciary. Then medical whatever the medical record maintained by the government hospitals are considered to be the fiduciary. They are not personal here.
सर ये fiduciary तो नहीं होंगे, ये third parties information में जाएंगे। That is the third party information.
Which one? No.
जैसे banking, medical.
Bank no. Bank accounts are fiduciary, not third party.
अब किसी का अब हम बैंकिंग, अब हम बैंक अगर हम लोक प्राधिकार पब्लिक अथॉरिटीज के हम अगर बैंक स्टेटमेंट्स मांग रहे हैं तो हम उसे क्यों नहीं मांग सकते? हम वो तो हम बिल्कुल ले सकते हैं। हम किसी पब्लिक अथॉरिटीज के किसी पब्लिक सर्वेंट्स के अगर हम चाहेंगे तो वो तो पब्लिक रिकॉर्ड्स में भी ऑलरेडी नहीं होता है। जब वो पब्लिक रिकॉर्ड्स में नहीं होता है तो वो तो हमें पब्लिक अथॉरिटी देगी कहाँ से?
No, ये बैंक अकाउंट्स आर कंसिडर्ड एज fiduciary documents. Bank accounts are concerned here. The bank accounts maintained by the individuals or the companies, except maintained by the public authorities, or bank accounts are fiduciary nature. And nomination, whatever the nomination be made, for example, LIC nomination, EPF, Provident Fund nomination, gratuity nominations, they are considered as the fiduciary that cannot be disclosed.
So
जो NGOs के स्टेटमेंट्स हैं,
yes.
जो गवर्नमेंट से सपोर्टेड रहते हैं, फंडेड रहते हैं, NGO जो फंडेड रहते हैं गवर्नमेंट से, उनकी वर्किंग को हम समझने के लिए हम उसके बैंक स्टेटमेंट्स ले सकते हैं कि नहीं ले सकते?
If that NGO is declared as a public authority, then their banking that account. No, we cannot seek that information from the bank directly. That you should understand. The bank's information, the bank accounts maintaining, they will not disclose it to anybody except to the account holder. But if the information held by the public authority, then only we can seek such information from the public authority. When it is held by a public authority, it will not become a fiduciary information, but it may become a third party information. Bank accounts, बैंक से हम डायरेक्टली नहीं ले सकते बैंक अकाउंट इंफॉर्मेशन, That is purely fiduciary. They will not provide you, even if you prove the public interest in all it, they will not provide you.
So suppose in a case
Yes.
we would like to seek some information of a bank account of an individual.
Yeah.
So in what condition we can seek this information from the bank?
No, sir.
What-
Banks will not provide, because once the information is considered as fiduciary.
I understand, sir, that bank will not provide this information because this is a fiduciary relation.
Fiduciary
Fiduciary relation. Yeah. But in some cases,
exempted under 8.1.
we want, but in some cases, we want to have this information. Suppose due to some corruption or some sort of like traffic of the money to that bank account from some sources which are like dubious or something like that. So in that case, if we want to seek the information from the bank, do we have to give all these proofs at the beginning when we are lodging an RTI application? That this bank account has some sort of suspicious transaction and this type of corruption, or I mean, in what cases we can have that kind of information? I mean, do we have to lodge some complaint, or we can directly?
Such cases. Yes.
Mhm.
If you have information about any irregular transaction in any account, a person's account, the only way is we have to make a complaint to the concerned authorities. For example, enforcement director is there, income tax department is there, or if he's a public servant, we can make it to the government that he has amassed wealth or he's involved in irregular money transaction. We can make a complaint to the concerned authorities to take action against them, not directly to the bank to, and seek the information under the RTI.
Sir, but without any evidence, how can we raise complaint?
Yeah, that is the reason. That is it's a good question. Unless we have some credible information, we cannot make a complaint. Then it will be very risky. You may be exposed to defamation cases also, unless you have some credible information. And you are not supposed to make a complaint to against that person to any authority. It becomes a very vague complaint. They consider it as a vague complaint. It is the responsibility of the person. Yeah. Yes.
That is what Shivanand Trivedi ji want to ask now. If we have to raise complaint against anyone and we want to collect evidence, so what is the format which we can get through RTI?
Yes, it's very difficult, especially amassment of wealth, corruption issues are concerned. It's very difficult to get information in such matters. It's very difficult.
Yeah, because in, I mean, most of the times we want to have some sort of information of an individual bank account when we want to know some corruption in that sort of things, like otherwise we are not interested to know someone's bank account. So on the first place, how we can just prove this that certain person has sort of like some corruption in his transaction and he has got some money, a mass of money, or like that. So this is the question. I mean,
yeah, this is what we call it as disproportionate assets, creation of disproportionate by public servants. That here,
but I think,
there is.
But I think something that you told at the beginning, that if we go for the audit report of the bank, so yearly audit report, if or half yearly audit report, if we go for that, and we try to obtain that, I mean, by using RTI application, then can we get some sort of some information of some individual bank accounts in that audit report? I mean, you are I mean, most of the time you're trying to seek that kind of information. So I mean, when you get this audit report, what kind of information you obtain from that to reach to some conclusion that certain irregularities are there?
Irregularities. Yeah. Okay. Here, for example, I will give you some examples here. We are making a social audit of the audit reports. BBMP, what called as Brihat Bangalore Mahanagarpalika. It's a city called Bangalore City Corporation. Their annual budget is about more than 10,000 crore rupees. They have got about 600 officers, unit officers. These all 600 officers will be audited by the state audit department. Every year they make the audit of the state state audit department will make a audit and publish a report and give a copy of the concerned report to the concerned officer. Obtain these audit reports, we came to know that there were a lot of financial irregularities in execution of work, utilization of funds and all. These were highlighted by the auditors because auditors will have the access to all the documents of one office. They go through it meticulously, they audit it, and finally they make out a report exposing all these irregularities which are available. So on the, if you can obtain audit reports and the audit, clearly or public documents, they are not ready.
So I think some network issue. We are not able to hear you. I think it's the same problem with everybody. सबके साथ यही हो रहा है, क्या सुनाई दे रहा है? सर बोल रहे
नहीं,
मुझे लगता है कोई नेटवर्क इशू हो गया।
नहीं सुनाई दे रहा, नहीं सुनाई दे रहा, तब
नहीं दे रहा, आधी बात आ रही है, आधी नहीं आ पा रही है, समझ में नहीं आता।
हाँ सर, आपकी आवाज कट रही थी अभी। हाँ ठीक है,
हमारे साथ तो फिर गांधी जी जुड़ चुके हैं।
हाँ ओके ओके हाँ देन सर
हाँ जी। Let Veeresh sir finish his talk. But I think again the same problem. So
instead of making application, anyone concerned here, I think better you take out this session, sir, please.
नमस्कार भाइयों, वीरेश जी बहुत अच्छी बात कर रहे थे, मगर इसके साथ कोशिश ये है आज 8(1)E, मेरे ख्याल से हिंदी में इसको 8(1) क्या कहा जाता है?
अंगा
बताएगा भाई? अंगा
अंगा जी, का खा गा घा अंगा, अंगा।
अब मैं इंग्लिश का शब्द इस्तेमाल करूंगा, फिड्यूशरी। हिंदी के एक्ट में उसको विश्वासकर्ता या विश्वासहर्ता कहा है शायद।
वैश्वासिक
जी,
वैश्वासिक कहा है
दोनों के बीच में।
हाँ, मेरे हिसाब से वैश्वासिक शब्द शायद फाइड्यूशरी बराबर रिफ्लेक्ट नहीं करता। कुछ चीजों में दूसरी भाषा में परफेक्ट शब्द नहीं मिलता हमें।
ओके सर।
तो फाइड्यूशरी क्या है? और रिजर्व बैंक ने 10 ऐसे केस थे, एनपीएस मांग रहे थे, ऑडिट रिपोर्ट्स मांग रहे थे बैंक्स के ग्रेडिंग मांग रहे थे, बैंक्स पे जो पीनल एक्शन लिया गया था ऐसा मांगा गया था, टॉप डिफॉल्टर्स के नाम मांगे गए थे, और ये सब रिजर्व बैंक ने मना कर दिया था, कह के कि ये हमारे 2 आरटीआई उन्होंने एग्जम्पशन इस्तेमाल किए थे, 8(1)A और